Hey, so we're talking about technology usage, right?
Absolutely. We don't want to be slaves of technology. We want to use it in our benefit.
No, that's a fine line between usage and slavery.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
have 5 tips for everybody today.
Yep. Before we get into the tips, though, I have some stuff outlined. I did a little research today on this topic, and I didn't realize that the growth of social media, if we're just talking about social media, the growth of social media usage is about 9% per year over the last few years. 3.8 or 3.48 billion people in the world on social media. And, social media, just if we're talking about social media, is set up to be addictive. It's set up to bring you in. So they get
Yeah.
money by the stuff or by the amount of time that you're on scrolling and looking at videos. They get money two ways, right? So if we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about Instagram, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a business. But they get money from your purchases, right? Because they sell your data to people that want that data. Then they also get money from the ads, which I've spent a ton of money on. Um, so they get money in a lot of two different ways, and there's a
I
thin
think
line
that
between usage and addiction.
I think the biggest selling point of social media is the attention of the users, because we spend so much time there watching what we like to watch, so they have our full attention for many hours, most of the times during the day. And the advertisements we see when we scroll down, this is what they get. They get our attention, basically.
Yeah, well, that's what they get paid to do, and they're good at it
Yeah.
because they know that it releases endorphins when you get likes and attention, and
And the
that's it.
dopamine.
Yeah, and you get addicted to that dopamine rush, and that's it. But
Absolutely.
we're not just talking about social media either. So I wanted to talk about purpose, habit, and behavioral change, right? So
Mhm.
purpose, habit, behavioral change. What's the purpose of you watching so much TV? What's the purpose of you scrolling like this, being on social media, right? Stopping every few things to put a like, a comment, right? What's the purpose? Do you have a purpose in that? What's the purpose of you playing? I play PlayStation and Xbox. What's the purpose of that, right? Only you can answer that question if you have a purpose in your technology use. Most of us don't. Most of us, it's habitual, right? So that's why I say purpose, habit, right? Most of us don't have a purpose. We're not purposefully watching TV with the intent to gain knowledge, right?
Mhm.
Most of us don't do that. Most of us aren't on Facebook with the purpose of to connect with our friends and that's it, right? Or to do business and that's it. A lot of us have the purpose of habit. It's a habit. It's a habit, right? And and
The
and
thing
then
is
and then and then the
that
third thing is behavioral change, right? So if you recognize that you don't have a purpose, right? You have no purpose, you have a habit, what are you going to do about it? You got to change the behavior. That's it. So that's what we're leading up to is these 5 tips and tricks that we're going to give you is behavioral change, right? It's changing what you're doing without purpose that you've developed a habit doing, right? Think about that. We're all habitual creatures. We're all driven by habit. We wake up, we do our thing every day because we're in a habit of doing it. And when we have to break a habit, we get uncomfortable. Who's with me? Who's with me? When you think about, I'm not going to get on social media tomorrow. I'm not going to play PlayStation tomorrow. I'm not watching TV tomorrow. Just one day. Say that to yourself. I'm not going to do this one day. I'm not going to use technology, ... one day. I'm not getting on my laptop unless it's work. Oh, whoa. What do you mean? All day? Then you start negotiating with yourself, right? What do you think, Ryan?
Well, the thing is that most of us, we are not conscious about the use of technology we're doing every day. So it's about getting conscious, it's about realizing that, okay, I'm getting an Instagram just because I wanna have some good time with the images, or I'm using Messenger because I really want to connect with people,
Think
or
about that though, Ryan.
I
I'm
will
sorry to cut you off.
play
What's a good time with
PlayStation just
images?
for to unwind a little and relax, and have some pleasurable time, and not to waste like 5 or 6 hours of my day, because I don't have anything else more interesting. Because many people, their everyday life is that they will do something unpleasant probably in the beginning, like school or work, that they don't like, and then the rest of the day they just want to have fun. If it's the news, a movie, or PlayStation, or social media, it's something that will give them this dopamine rush.
Yeah,
So, it's about being conscious.
it is. Very much so. You got to be conscious. That's why you're here. That's why all 250 of you guys, yeah, I wish. That's why we're all here, is to be conscious. We're telling you, if you don't have a purpose, you have a habit. The end. Is it a good habit? Is it a productive habit? Is it a habit about getting you somewhere, right? Are you habitually on your PlayStation because you have a tournament coming up and that's what you do for Fortnite? If so, then okay. But most of us, 99% of us, don't have a habit or don't have a purpose in the habit when we're on Instagram. Instagram is useless. It's scrolling through a bunch of people's pictures and their lives, right? Maybe you need to vicariously live through their life, and that's the truth. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, Dave, I really love the post that you have because you're traveling, and it really, I can't travel, so it really gives me the ability to vicariously live through what you're doing, which is wonderful." But
It depends how you define useful or not, because if you train the algorithm well, it can give you posts that you're interested in. And what I mean by that, for example, I don't follow people to see that only post about their lives. I'm not interested in seeing other people's lives. The close friends I have, I will probably call them on the phone and meet them in person. So I like to follow pages on personal development, on travel, on beautiful homes and design, things that for some reason I will enjoy looking, or I will learn something from. And this is both on Facebook and Instagram. So this is not the average user habit, but it's doable. So you decide who to follow and what to watch every time. But still, it's not productive to get in on Instagram and like start scrolling for an hour. You know, you can do
Well,
so many
and
things.
that was my point. Is even if you've narrowed who you're following down on Instagram, and you're scrolling for an hour, how much of that hour has been productive? Right? How much of
Well,
that hour and the stuff that you've gotten are you applying to your own life? Probably a very small percent. How much of that scrolling are you writing down and going, oh man, that's a good idea? No, Dave and Ryan had this coffee time. I'm writing this down. Not a lot of people are doing that. You're looking and you're passing.
I hope you people are keeping notes when you see our copies.
I hope so too. That's a good reminder. Please take notes, you guys. Please write this stuff down because it matters. It matters.
And if you lose something, you can watch again the video afterwards. We upload everything on YouTube. Every coffee is uploaded on YouTube, so you can go watch it or on Dave's profile.
Yeah, and yours, right? You're posting this on yours too.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about my Facebook. But I think I will work something out. So let's start with the first one. You know, let's start giving tips to everybody.
Well, hold on. I got something else too. So you know, when we talk about the impact of technology usage on your life, right? And you're thinking, well, I'm only on for about an hour a day. Most likely, you're wrong. Most likely, you're on a lot longer than that. Most likely, it's 2 or 3 hours, okay? And there's some great tools that you can download to track your social media usage if you're talking about social media. And it's very easy to track your video game usage or your TV watching, okay? Set a timer, right? But think about the impact that time has on your relationships, your health, your body, right? Your behavior. And when we talk about kids in social media or TV or, you know, sitting a 5-year-old in front of a tablet to watch, you know, YouTube videos and cartoons all damn day, right? When we talk about that, think about the opposite of what it's doing, the impact of what it's doing to your mind. You're forgetting how to even socialize with each other in front of people. You're losing the connection that you need to have. Human beings have to have at different levels. You're losing that connection.
Yeah, and it's very
social behavior.
It's very addicting, all this hunting with the likes and comments and views and everything. Because when you start getting in this game, then you need more and more and more. If you don't get 100 likes the next time, then you miss it. You know, you miss this dopamine rush we were talking about. That's why it's addictive. So yeah, we need to grasp the situation, you know, and handle it. We need to have the control of the situation with technology.
For ourselves and our kids. Like really, I'm talking to you parents out there. If you have kids, think about the amount of time that you're letting your children sit in front of a screen, any type of screen it is. If it's a phone, scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, if it's TV, if it's YouTube, think about the amount of time and limit that amount of time. Think about that because you're impacting their lives. You're impacting their brain and how their brain is wired and their ability to connect with people on a real physical social level. Think about that. You know, you remember the games that we used to play when we were kids? Kick the can. Did you ever play kick the can?
I don't know that.
Tag. Did you play tag? You're it.
Yeah,
not it.
That you try to grasp the other kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Hide and seek. You played hide and seek, huh?
Of course, of course.
What about Mother May I? Like one person says, uh, okay, you got 5, 10 people in front of you and your mother. And one person says, do jumping jacks. So everybody's doing jumping jacks. And then they say, you're out because mother didn't say do jumping jacks. So mother, may I do jumping jacks? Yes, you can. And then you do the jumping jacks. Oh man. We had some fun, crazy games.
I was all about bikes when I was young, you know. I was always on a bike, so
Yeah.
this was my game. I wanted to explore the area, you know.
We used to play BB gun war in a ditch out in the field. You know what BB guns?
It's the one with the small ball, the guns with the
Yeah. I'm not advising that to anyone. That's not safe. That's not good.
Yeah.
But that's what we used to do when I was a kid.
We were playing when we were kids, and one guy got the ball inside his eye.
Yeah. Yep. Easy
So
to do.
it's better to play this with protective gear if you let kids play with that, you know.
Well, paintball, that's another fun game. You can go out to the field and play paintball. There's so many activities that
Yeah, the
you can
outside
do.
games are much more and that are social are much better than just staying home, you know, and playing video games. Video games
Yeah.
are cool, but not in an exaggeration of time, you know, not for hours.
Yeah.
So
Well, so what about
how
these
we
tips and tricks?
control this, Dave? How we give tools for control over technology?
Well, you can throw all of your technological devices away. Throw them all away. And along with that, go live in a cave.
Yeah.
Andrea says, get out into nature, which is a great one too. You got to get out to nature.
Yeah.
Go hiking with your kids, you guys. When's the last time you went hiking with your kids or a friend? You know, go out, for a walk or go hiking, whatever you can do. Just without your damn phone. You know, you don't have to take a picture of everything.
Yeah, I enjoy so much watching parents with their kids outside with bicycles. So
Mm,
parents teach their kids how to bicycle, you know, and then they go
yeah.
for bicycling away, like many kilometers, safely, but they go, and it's very nice, you know, because you get in touch with nature, you exercise, you have a good time with your parents or with your friends if you are a teenager, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
many times I will just get my bike and call a bunch of friends or one or even alone and get outside and go together somewhere, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Right.
important. It's important. So Ryan, what about some tips and tricks to get people thinking at least to limit what they're doing with media?
So the first tip we have for everybody is to set a time to use every device. So, for example, if we're talking about PlayStation or Xbox or whatever video game we're talking about, don't have it like random in the day that whenever I see it or catch it, I start playing randomly. Set a time that, for example, at 7 o'clock every day, it's the time to play that. I won't be doing anything else. I will enjoy my game. But all the other hours of the day, you won't touch it. You won't go play randomly. This way, you get it into schedule, and it's easier to evade using it in other hours that you should be doing other tasks, right? I know
And
you use
limit.
it very effectively because you have certain hours to play your video games.
Yeah. Well, I'm good with my time. I don't have a specific time that I play. I'll play whenever I want. And I love to play video games, you guys. I play Xbox and PlayStation almost every day. But I know how to limit and monitor my time. You know, if I want to play for 2 hours, I'll play. I'll play for 3 or 4 hours, but I also know the days that I can do that and the days that, no, I got something to work on. And work and the things that I enjoy doing, like devising curriculum and researching for these topics, that always takes priority over playing video games. But
Yeah, I remember a week that you didn't play for like 6 days. You hadn't played at all
yeah,
because
yeah,
you were
yeah.
so busy that week.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be a stretch of time where I don't play at all to if when I'm finishing my book up, or I remember that was a super busy time where I'm doing 14, 15-hour days doing stuff. And even right now it's a pretty busy time, so I don't play as much. But okay. But not just set a specific time that you're going to play, but an amount of time. And that amount of time can be congruent with how much stuff you have to do, right? Like your screen time, I'll call it screen time, or media usage, TV, Xbox, whatever it is. That screen time, it should always take second place, not first place, right?
Yeah.
Second place to real life, second place to things that you want to get done, second place to your goals, right? So for me, I'm retired. I don't need I don't need the money. I don't need anything. So I could sit and play Xbox all day, PlayStation all day, right? But my goal is to bring you guys new and fresh content that you can consume and learn and change your lives, right? So I choose being able to research things and to develop courses and to work on the business over 4, 5, 6 hours playing Xbox or PlayStation. But I still have that balance, right? I want to play for an hour today. So if you can, at a certain time, and limit the amount of time. It's not an all-day event. You don't need to binge watch every show on Netflix in one damn day.
And another tip is to limit the time, and you can use the apps for that reason. Well, I don't think there is an app on Xbox or PlayStation, but you can certainly set an alarm on your phone for that.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
for applications like like the social media applications on your phone, there are tools. I know for iPhone, it's built in the iPhone that you can you can set the amount that you use every application every day. I had done it as an exercise. I had set like Instagram for 15 minutes every day. So the one thing is this, that you can set restrictions on your phone. I'm sure there is something similar for Android users. And also your phone provides your screen time, so you can see how much time you spend on Instagram, for example, or on Facebook. So
You'd be
if you see
surprised
that
how much.
yeah, exactly, it will make you more conscious of yourself if you see that, for example, today you used it for 3 hours,
Yeah.
And imagine if it's 1 hour Facebook, 1 hour Instagram, 1 hour something TikTok. It adds up.
It adds up, and it takes away from what your life is really about.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, unless your business is Facebook or Xbox or Netflix, unless that's your business or you're fulfilling a passion, right? You're wasting precious time. That's the only thing that you just can't buy. No matter if you're Bill Gates or a homeless guy on the street, you have the same 24 hours and none of us can buy it. We can't buy our time back. So when I waste time, Brian, that's the one thing in life that gets me pissed off, is when I go, I just lost an hour. I just lost 3 hours, because I can never get that back. No matter how much money you got in the bank, I can't pay for time back. And if you
Yeah.
think about that and then use that in your life, I can't get it back.
And it's not only about goals and tasks, it's also about friendship. Why use 4 hours on social media instead of getting in touch with a friend of yours, you know? Go
Yeah,
out for a walk or
yeah,
have a coffee in-house, you know?
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
another great advice about this thing is to have separate devices for work and separate for fun. So this is an idea I got from the book Atomic Habits of James Clear. So he says, for example, have a computer for work, have your phone for social media or pleasure or whatever, have a video game just for fun, you know, maybe have an iPad for reading. Don't confuse them in the level of device and in the level of space where you use everything. So if on your desk you have your computer and this is a workspace, don't have fun in your workspace. Don't confuse it in your mind. Have a separate area like a playroom or your living room where you're gonna have fun, you're gonna socialize through your phone, whatever. If you mix it up and you, for example, watch YouTube videos on your on your work computer, it's very easy every day as you work to put a YouTube video, and then there is a second one and a third one, and you lost half an hour of your work just like that. But if it's just work, then on your break, you can use your phone and play a game, make a phone, watch TikTok, whatever you want, because this is your phone and this is your break time. You know, it's a
Yeah.
total separation.
What's the next one?
And I also thinking. You remember we were talking about rewards, the reward system in one of the previous coffees.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a nice thing to do when you um, finish a difficult task, or even a not so difficult, but especially with difficult tasks that may take half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. It's nice to reward yourself for your hard work with some pleasure time, you know. Either it's like 15 minutes of Instagram or half an hour of video game or something like that. So you use it productively, you know, as a reward instead of losing time. It's time to unwind, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell yourself, hey, you know what? I'll give myself a half an hour of scrolling through messages or whatever because I was hard at work and I finished this thing that I really wanted to finish and I did it. And the
Yeah.
last one we have is exactly what Robin said here. Hold on, let me find Robin's comment. She said, unplug and sit in nature with a good book.
Yeah.
And
It's not
hold on,
only that,
listen.
but in general, the
Andrea,
topic is that
Andrea
first of
said
all,
in the last couple of weeks,
mhm.
she did 12-mile walks with friends and family. Sitting in nature, walking with friends and family. Oh, I wish I could walk 12 miles. Oh. But those things really matter, like disconnecting from all of the electronic stuff you're just tethered to.
Mhm.
You're stuck with. You can't leave alone. And disconnecting with that and saying, you know what? Nothing on Facebook is going to impact my next 2 hours. And
Yeah.
just go somewhere, do something, be with someone. How many times have you been out, Ryan? I see this all the time when we could go out. and you're at a table, or you see, you see a table full of people, and 2, 3 people are on their phone.
Yeah.
It,
I've
it,
seen everybody being on their phone at some point. I I remember being in a table at some point, and like we were 5 people and 4 of them were on their phone, and I started joking with them about it. I said,
yeah,
okay, should I take my phone as well? You know.
yeah, yeah. We had a New Year's party here, or a party for Vasa, one of the two. And at some point, I look over, and there's 3 or 4 people sitting on the couch on the sofa,
Mm.
and every one of them has their phone in front of them. And I said, "What the hell?" And I'm not acting like I've never been guilty of that. I'm not that good. But I try to be very cognizant of that, especially if I'm in somebody's company. If I'm talking with someone, I want to pay attention to that person. I want to
Mhm.
actually see them, hear them, and we all think we can multitask, which is a bunch of BS. None of us multitask very well. It's not. You can't be 100% in 2 different places. You're not 200% in anything. It's 100.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're going to divide it by 70, 30, 50, 50, whatever it is, it's still not 100%. So,
Mhm.
it's important to connect and be there, be present with the people that you're around. Be present.
Well, it takes practice, to change all these habits, because at that point it's a habit. And you said before that it's like half the population, 3.5 billions. Imagine what will happen in the next 2 decades, because right now most people that don't use technology a lot are the elderly. So if
Yeah.
we assume that the elderly are leaving this place in the next 2 decades, and all the babies that are born are born into technology. So in
Mm.
the next 20 years, we're looking at the like all the population of Earth will be consumed with all this. So it's a matter of keeping healthy habits, and not exaggerate. Like with sugar, everybody likes sugar. Well, almost everybody. So it's something we like, but if we consume every day half a kilo of sugar, it's unhealthy.
Mm.
But if we consume like 2 pieces of chocolate once every week, it's like
Well,
no big
once
deal.
every day is not unhealthy. It's not going to kill you, but certainly you eat a bag of M&Ms every day. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to kill yourself. You're going to slowly
Yeah.
kill yourself at the end. And so it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing with technology. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great thing. It's a great invention. But yeah, you can slowly destroy yourself, your relationships, your mental ability to cope and connect. Um, and then what are you left with? What are you left with?
Yeah, yeah, and relationships are something that you need to nourish.
Yeah,
In like relationships, human relationships are like plants. They need care. They need watering. They need the soil. If you
yeah,
don't take care of your relationships, they lose. They lose their vitality.
yeah. I agree,
Mhm.
100%.
And
Oh,
I
this
think
was
we covered everything, eh?
yeah, and then some, and then some. I think we
And then
did.
some.
It was a good session. I hope everyone learned a little bit of something, or at least got to thinking. You're like, oh, I am just aimlessly scrolling for no good apparent reason. Why am I doing that? It's a habit. That's why, because I have a habit. Well, what do I do about that? Don't be like the statistics, right, or the statistical majority, and do nothing about it. You've
Yeah.
consumed some good advice, some motivation, some instruction. Don't be like the statistical majority and go away from this without a pen and a piece of paper and go. I remember when I watched this one video with those two really good-looking guys, and they said something about digital media not being good, but well, let me scroll on Instagram and try to find that for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. So
No.
let me before we close, let me summarize the five things real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah.
and I hope that everybody that is watching will use at least one of them, if not all of them, at least one. It's the winning is in the application, not in just the knowledge. So number one, set a time to use them, to use every device, your Xbox, your phone for Instagram, your, I don't know, help me here, tablet for TikTok. The second one is to use different devices for work and for fun. Don't use your phone for everything. Don't use computer for everything. You have to set a device and a place for its function. The third one is to use apps for restriction on your phone, to restrict the time you use on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, whatever you use. The fourth one is to reward yourself after finishing difficult tasks by giving access to fun technology, either a video game or social media or whatever you want to do. And the fifth one is to gain pleasure from things that don't use technology and screens, like a walk in nature, go bicycling, get in touch with your friends and family. So these are the
That's it.
five things.
That's it.
We really hope you apply the knowledge. This is why we're giving it. We apply it. Whatever we suggest, we apply first, and we write these things down. Most of the times, it's ideas that we apply in our lives, and we give. Maybe not everything, but you find the right set that is good for you. The right set, the right combination of advices and habits. To everyone is unique.
And then don't forget, go out to the website. We got some good programs for everyone. Everyone. We have I'm super excited about the parenting mentoring for parents that have teenagers program.
Mhm.
It's absolutely like just perfect. I wish that I had something like this when my kids were parents, with parents when they were teens. So I'm hoping people really go out, share it, right? Share it. If you have some parents that you know can use some help with their teenagers, get them out to the website, share it with them. And then Ryan, you have a men's styling, right? You're a model, dude.
Yeah, and we're all about having the best version of ourselves, so we can very, with easy steps, fix our self-image and our style and how we carry ourselves. And also, we're ready for a happy seminar, you
Yeah,
know, how
yeah.
to be more happy in life, because this is extremely important, to be happy in life. There are the ways, and we're gonna finish a seminar over how to be happy in life,
Yep.
with
Yeah, a free
everything that
seminar,
can be.
not just a seminar, a free seminar that we're putting together on how the hell to be happy. I just want to be happy. How do I be happy? A lot of people are struggling with that, especially during COVID lockdowns. You know, you're around your kids all day. You're not seeing your friends, so you're trying to figure out how the hell do I be happy? So look for that seminar in a couple of weeks. All right, we love you guys.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Peace.